Hello, everybody, and welcome to Talking Sports. You know, it's been a very interesting summer transfer window in the Premier League. An interesting one for all the clubs, bar one. And that, of course, being West Ham United. Yes, 50-odd days ago, they lifted the Europa Conference League crown. But now we're heading into a completely new campaign. And nothing seems to be happening with regards to incomings. Why is that the case? Who are they after? What are the stumbling blocks? Well, we're going to look at some of the names that have been linked with the club over the next few minutes and try and figure out what the issues have been. So, let's begin with James Ward-Prowse, because that one has been making the rounds recently. TalkSport have jumped on this story. According to them, Ward-Prowse wants the move. He wants to head to East London. The Southampton player, vastly experienced in the Premier League, 343 Premier League appearances, 49 goals and 38 assists during that time, during all these years since 2012-13, when that was his first season in the Premier League. So what is the stumbling block? Well, obviously, it's the money. Southampton want £40 million for the player. Now, that does seem kind of steep, but then you have to think about the fact that James Ward-Prowse, you got to look at his numbers first of all. He has been a great servant for Southampton. Plus, his contract runs until 2026. So clearly, Southampton are not going to let him off on the cheap, which is exactly what West Ham are looking for, because they're reluctant to pay anything more than 25 million, according to TalkSport. Nevertheless, West Ham are still trying to work through this deal, still trying to figure something out. Interesting few stats on James Ward-Prowse. He scored 17 Premier League free kicks, which is one behind the current record holder, David Beckham. It's also 5 more than Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, obviously, I know that Cristiano has played far fewer games in the Premier League than Ward-Prowse, but it's still a nice stat to put out there. Ward-Prowse has scored, interestingly, 22 goals across all competitions in the last 2 seasons for Southampton. So goals have clearly been coming his way in recent times. He has had 43 goal contributions over the last 3 seasons for Southampton. But the one stat which blows all of them away is this one. He has started 150 of Southampton's last 152 Premier League matches. You know what? I would sign him just for that. This is a man who turns up and is very, very rarely injured. Interestingly, also, he's been the captain at Southampton since 2020 and has made 11 England caps, scoring 2 goals in a couple of World Cup qualifiers. So, James Ward-Prowse, a player that West Ham are looking for, and according to the Daily Record, David Moyes, the manager, is really pushing for this particular move. As we've said before, West Ham, the only side in the Premier League yet to make a senior signing, yet to spend the 105 million that they received or will receive in installments for Declan Rice. And Moyes, he's asked the newly appointed technical director at West Ham for a couple of midfielders, but you know what? He may need a bit more than that, considering the way the season played out last year for West Ham. Moving on, an interesting story regarding Carlos Borges, because West Ham fans, you will know, you have been looking at this Manchester City youth player for a little while. There's been a lot of reports coming out saying, yes, it's a deal done, he's going to East London, but instead, according to Fabrizio Romano, who knows a thing or two about transfers, Ajax are set to hijack the deal and sign Borges, right, sweep him under the rug from West Ham. Ajax is said to have a verbal agreement, and the player is expected in Amsterdam for a medical. So, as things stand, it looks like West Ham have missed out on a very exciting player. He has scored 29 goals in 33 matches, albeit for the Manchester City youth team, but still an impressive talent that has got a lot of people talking. Now, why has this deal not gone over the line for West Ham? It was meant to be done ages ago. Why have Ajax been able to come in and take this deal away from the Irons? Well, according there's a Patreon site, a Patreon account called XWHU Employee, and according to that report, West Ham were not happy with the potential agent fee during negotiations, which is quite interesting. Ajax clearly willing to pay whatever it takes to bring the man over the line. Another story concerning a Manchester City player and West Ham is the Taylor Howard Bellis story, and according to The Guardian, he remains a target for West Ham, although there is a bit of competition between the Hammers and Leeds United, as both clubs are pushing to get the 21-year-old man. He has spent since 2021. He has had various loan spells, including Blackburn, Anderlecht, Stoke City, and last year, for those who followed the Championship, he was at Burnley, made 32 appearances for Burnley in the Championship last season as he helped them to promotion. And also, this young man has won the Under-21 European Championships this summer with England. So a talented man. And according to The Guardian, West Ham are looking at him. Question is, will they be able to get their hands on him? Or will Leeds do Ajax and again sweep the player away from West Ham's rug? We'll have to wait and see as the days go on. Elsewhere in the Times, West Ham are reportedly looking at Jonathan Tah from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, I've got to tell you, of all these deals, this one looks like a shrewd, great deal for David Moyes and his side. Price tag around 17 million, but this man is 27 years old. He's got Champions League experience, Europa League experience, played for the German national side. He's been at Leverkusen since 2015, clearly out for a new challenge. Made over 220 appearances for Leverkusen, so experience in the Bundesliga, has played in European competitions. Clearly, Jonathan Tah wants to join West Ham according to the Times. So the question is, why is this deal not being pursued more aggressively? Next, we have heading to the Daily Mail, according to West Ham are interested in Bristol City's Cam Pring and Feyenoord's Kilinci Hartmann. Now, one of the reasons why West Ham could be looking at those two men is Aaron Creswell and his uncertain future in East London. He has been linked with Wolves. At the time of recording, he's not gone to Wolves yet, but Hartmann and Pring are the two players that West Ham are currently looking at. Also, according to the Daily Mail, West Ham are keeping their eyes on Ian Matson from Chelsea. According to the paper, the West Ham have held talks with the Blues over signing the player. Last season, again, he spent at Burnley, where he made 39 appearances in the Championship, 4 goals, 6 assists. So another potential shrewd signing, but again, these are just talks, nothing more than that as of yet. There is some positive news for West Ham fans. It surrounds Lucas Paqueta, and obviously anybody who listens to TalkSport will know they have a little transfer update with Alex Scruck, and Alex mentioned that Lucas may be somewhat unhappy in East London, and those rumours were shut down by the man himself. West Ham account posted the story, and Lucas quickly underneath commented with 2 simple words: fake news, which is certainly good news for West Ham fans. Lastly, I wanted to take a look at this. Now, this is from La Gazzetta dello Sport, the Italian newspaper, who have reported that West Ham have reached an agreement with Juventus for Denis Zakaria. There is a problem, though, because West Ham are not the only ones. Monaco and RB Leipzig have also agreed terms with the Serie A giants, and clearly there is competition for the player. Now, where would he rather end up? League One in the Bundesliga, or over in the best league in Europe, in the world, which is the Premier League? But then again, he would have to play for a West Ham side, which is concerning that they're not getting these signings through. What will they actually be fighting for? Yes, they've got European football, but what about in the Premier League? What sort of ambitions do they actually have coming up in this new season? And that really is the question, because none of these signings are coming through, and the clock is ticking, because the first game I'm recording this video on the 1st of August. The first game's on the 12th, away at Bournemouth. So the clock is ticking. Let's see over the next few days whether West Ham can get any of these deals over the line.